Welcome everybody, I'm Burner. This is The Walking Dead Road to Survival, and we have another installment of New Toon on the Block. As you can see, new epic specialist Chainsaw Sawyer. First impression, I don't know how I feel about the saw tongue twister. I'm just gonna call him Chain-Sawyer. I don't know if I need to say saw that many times. New epic specialist Sawyer is ready to cut through anything and anyone in his way. Head to Premier Recruits. Alright, let's do it. Let's take that advice. Oh, well, we keep talking about it. It keeps coming up. And, if you're pretty involved in the community, you've read it on, forums or message boards. He does look cool, but the cool characters without a lot of substance is kind of getting old. I know that's a little bit of an early judgment. We haven't really looked at him yet, but let's just call it a gut reaction. They're selling him pretty good. He's got this stance, he's backed away, the chainsaw's out front. I'm a little surprised that Scopely isn't also launching their 3D capable app right now where you can put on some glasses and this chainsaw will look like it's sticking out of the screen. But that being said, enough bitching for a little bit. Let's take a closer look. There he is. You can see him. He's big, he's bulky, he's got a chainsaw and just some chains around his wrist for some reason. Stats are what we expect. He looks like a hard hitter, therefore his defense is a little low. Health is about what we expect at this range. Adrenaline rush, a time to carve. Recharge rate 56, AP fast. He's somebody you can definitely work with. Deal 300% damage and stun for one turn up to 3 enemies. Alright, I mean, it's not hugely OP, but it's mid-range damage. I mean, the big kicker here is the up to 3 enemies for one turn. Towards the later part of a raid, this can probably give you basically an extra turn because there's probably only 2 or 3 people left. So, I mean, that can be really, really advantageous against, some tougher opponents that you're pretty marginal matchup with. Specialist skill, execution. If you don't know by now, when this character attacks an enemy that has 20% HP or less, the enemy will immediately be defeated. Okay, pretty solid. I mean, he's a good support guy. Let's take a look at this special weapon. 15% attack, 10% HP, and special stat of bleeding. When attacking, a better chance to cause 70 damage bleeding for 4 turns. So, even more damage. We've already learned with these special weapons, they're not interchangeable. You can't equip this on any other green, and it's not upgradable, so you can't change any of these stats. It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, going back to the cool thing, I just don't think there's anything new here. It's a solid tune, don't get me wrong. If I was pulling out of Premier Recruits at any point and I got this guy, I wouldn't be mad. This isn't like getting Earl out of anniversary tokens or, getting a Caroline from basic tokens and having to be like, oh, but it is a 5-star. So I mean, he's solid. It's just the cool characters for just the face of being cool without offering us, something new. Obviously, if you guys are fans, you know that I recently got the Heal Overtime Rick, and I thought that was very interesting because, used a character we already know. We've seen many iterations of. But it gave us a new, sort of a new Rick from a part of the story we haven't seen. Obviously, the very beginning of The Walking Dead when Rick is making his way out of the hospital. Even though, we don't see that attire specifically, you know exactly where that character is coming from by the look. And then they introduced a new AR, which, has some very OP qualities to it. Obviously, there's no character that's going to completely break the game. They always find a way to give something very interesting, but you know, you can build around it. That being said, you know, it's an AR that we've seen before, and besides just looking cool and badass with a bloody saw, I mean, who is this guy? I did read on some of the boards right before I started this video, and I guess there's some claims from Scopely's forum that he's an unnamed character that's, you know, part of the Saviors, at least in some capacity. And, you know, I've seen a picture where he's even circled from the comic book. But it's a passing resemblance. It's not exactly what you see here. At the very least, they've taken some artistic license. And then, you know, they've given an unnamed character a name which, yeah, I mean, you could tell from how I was reacting to it with the Chainsaw Sawyer, is a little tongue-in-cheek and maybe a bit on the nose. So, yeah, you know, I don't know how I feel about this. For the most part, I feel like it's a look at me, I'm cool, you should have me, I'll look cool type of tune that they've introduced here. I guess enough bitching. Let's hop down. Let's look at the bonuses. They're giving bonuses for a 40 pack, so pretty big spend. Let's check this first box off. You get between 1 and 2, either 4 or 5-star trainers. Those are kind of nice. You get a guaranteed 3-star Brady there. And then a mix between 1 and 3, 2 and 3-star trainers. And then 700 5-star tokens. So with the level up going on right now, obviously it appeals to that. I would put this at, you know, the higher end of some of the bonuses we get. I mean, these are pretty valuable pieces that they're giving away, especially if you're on the cusp of maybe hitting a milestone or your faction is really competitive in this event. It could potentially help you make you know, some of those milestones. That being said, and even after all my bitching, because I feel like it's a pretty good way that we've been doing things, of introducing you guys to the characters and also giving a little bit of anticipation and excitement to these videos. Let's do a one pull. Let's see on the wheel. We got some Abraham, Sadiq's coming up. We can't stand him. Jesus is always good to us. Let's open on Jesus. Alright guys, let's see what luck is gonna bring us. And oh, 3-star Sandy, who is not as rare as that title would suggest. You know, 3 stars are what we expect, and when we get 3 stars, we can't be mad. Well guys, let me know what you think about Chain-Sawyer here. Comment below. As always, like. If you're new and like what you see, subscribe. I always appreciate the time you guys put in, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Burner out.